Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Industry Disruptors. As always, I have Jordan Wiley, MBE, here with me, and I'm Ajay Nair, of course. And today we're going to talk about creative finance. Fun stuff. Sexy stuff, really.
Yeah, my favourite stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Creative finance?
Yeah.
Well, go on then.
You want anything creative? I don't like anything boring, so I like things when they're a bit more complex.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think a lot of people, when they hear creative finance, they just either one, get absolutely petrified, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or they're just like, oh, tell me more.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the tell me more part of it. That was kind of like myself when I first started to understand the creative side of finance.
I think creative finance is something that's not very well known either.
No.
Because people just have this sort of... There's a stigma attached to property, I think, and people think that you have to have either a large sum of money to start or you have to come from a wealthy background or something to be able to start in property, and actually that's not the case at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on what you see online and based on comments that you see from people, on other people trying to explain things about property or explain things about using finance creatively, I think where the stigma comes attached to it is where people are financially free in 7 days or, buy property without any money. And it's just like, well, no, you need to say the correct thing. And the correct thing is buy property creatively rather than with no money or be financially free in 7 days.
No one's financially free in 7 days unless you find a lamp in a cave with 3 wishes.
Do you reckon?
Who's going to be financially free in 7 days?
No, as in, like, do you reckon if you found a lamp, you could be financially free?
Well, yeah, because my first wish would be 100 million, mate. Come on, Genie.
That's my goal now in life. I'm going to find me a lamp.
Could buy Las Vegas Strip or something.
You need about 400 or 500 mil for
That's
that.
fine. It's a wish. I can have it.
Okay, fine. But yeah, it is about being creative rather than, oh, you can do this if you did this. And it's like, well, no, tell the whole story. But I guess that's them being that clickbait. Here's the hook.
Yeah, they give the hook and then they charge you like 50 grand for a course that 80% of the course is a load of crap.
Yeah.
And 20% is correct. And then you're still not financially free a year later. So I wouldn't say that's a great return on investment.
No, I wouldn't have said that.
And that's coming from someone I've spent 30 grand, I think it was, on a course. And the only good thing that came out of it was you.
It
actually was a great return on investment for me.
I'll take that.
But in terms of actually property investment side of things, I just learned that what was being taught was borderline fraud. And the rest of it was just a load of crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's get into it then. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out how we can be creative, educate them how they can be creative.
I had a conversation on the phone a couple of weeks ago with a lady who, she was in her 50s and she had about £15,000, wanted to get into property, and she was worried because she's only got 15,000 and have her age. She was like, I don't know, how I'm going to invest, but I really want to start investing for my retirement. So I said, okay, do you own property at the moment? She was like, yeah, I just own the one that I live in. I said, have you only got the 15,000? Do you have any sort of investor funds or, anyone willing to lend you money? She was like, no, it's just that. I was like, okay, tell me about the property that you own. She was like, it's the one that I live in. It's worth about £500,000. I said, okay, has it got a mortgage on it? No. I was like, well, there you go. Done.
Let's go build an empire.
Yeah. And she was just like, what? She was like, her mind had blown on the phone. And I was like, you have property there worth £500,000 that I can use as collateral.
Yeah.
So you don't physically actually need to put any money into it if you find the right deals at the right price, because you've got enough equity in your home to be able to use that.
And you're doing one that's exactly like that right now.
I'm trying to do one like that right now.
The offer accepted.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that says it all really, where people don't know how much is actually possible, and how you can creatively build a portfolio without necessarily needing copious amounts of money or, you know, an existing portfolio that is huge or whatever. You can start from scratch with the smallest amounts, just doing it in the right way.
Well, I had one today. I don't know if you heard the conversation, but he was a first-time buyer, first-time landlord, and he was looking to buy a couple of properties on a bridge. And he was like, well, I've got nothing, because he worked abroad, so he's only been in the UK for the last 5 years. He's renting and all of that, and he was like, well, I've got no experience, I've never done property, so I've been told that I can't do it. And I was just like, by who? Of course you can do it. We're going to be a little bit limited on the lenders on the back end for the first one, but we can absolutely do it, and you'll be looking at rates the same as everybody else. And he was just like, oh, I didn't know that. And he was like, oh, by the way, I'm a contractor. I was like, okay. He's like, I've only been contracting for 6 months, but I was employed for 5 years in the same industry before. I've literally just moved. I was like, it's fine. Like, it's not a problem. He was like, oh my God, I was freaking out because I didn't think contractors could get mortgages. I was like, it's not. Of course you can.
I wish, you know, it's funny. There are some times where I wish I could reach every single human in the UK that wants to know anything about mortgages and just answer the questions and give them the real answers. Because people keep going to all these random weirdos who don't know what is possible. Because I can't knock a mortgage advisor for not having that knowledge.
No.
Right? Because ultimately they have their little place that they sit in, and they will knock out those mortgages continuously, and nothing will stop them, and they'll have a great career. But where something's a little bit quirky, it's out of their comfort zone. They don't know everything about it, and they're going to basically be very limited in what they can offer as far as advice is concerned. I think the problem that we have, especially out in the public, is everyone out there thinks that one mortgage advisor should know absolutely everything there is to know about
And all mortgage
property.
advisors are the same.
Yeah, but it's not. Like, every mortgage advisor will have a different way of doing things, and a different thought process, and a different niche that they focus in. Yes, I went to another level and I wanted to learn absolutely everything there is to know about mortgages in every single aspect, in every single way. Buy-to-let, limited company, buy-to-let, residential, bridging, development, ground up. I mean, you name it. I wanted to learn everything there was to learn. But that's me. And there's probably, 20, 30, 40 of us out there. But not everyone is going to have that knowledge on everything. And the general public, the non-advisors, the people seeking the advice, they don't have that understanding. They just think, oh, my mortgage advisor said this and that's that.
Yeah. Well, I did. There's one of my clients I'm doing a bridge right now, and we're almost at completion on the bridge, and he's only just realised that he can use investor funds to fund the bridge. And I was like, why didn't you just ask me? Like, right at the beginning, why didn't you just ask me that?
Yeah.
He was like, well, I was told that I couldn't.
By whom?
Well, I don't know.
Some other advisor?
Probably some other advisor. Or his mate down the pub, probably. I was like, you can absolutely. I was like, have you got loan agreements? He was like, yep, sent all loan agreements to me. I was like, not a problem. You can absolutely use this. So now we're using them in the bridge.
It's all about the mate down the pub. They know best.
Yeah, I had one today, and it was a long-standing client of mine, and I'm advising them on what to do on a deal that's going a bit tits up. And they said, oh, well, I heard that if I went to this lender that we completely dislike very much, that they'll do it. And I was like, I'm absolutely never taking you to that lender. I wouldn't take my worst enemy to that lender. And I said, do not listen to anyone in this world apart from me.
Yeah.
And they just put, okay.
Yeah. I know which lender you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you do.
If only we could name the lenders.
It's a mystery.
I've been told by compliance that I cannot name lenders because I'll probably I'll get defamation suits or something. To be honest, I think 90% of lenders would come flying at me.
Probably.
Yeah.
This lender definitely would.
Yeah, certainly.
Anyway, we're not going to go to that lender. That's been shot down.
No.
But I get that all the time. And you know what I've been getting recently, which is actually really winding me up,
Go on.
is what would Ajay think about that?
Yeah. Of course, they need the master's answer.
No, I shot that down
What did you
straight
say?
away.
Ajay would say exactly what I've told you already.
Yeah, I said, I am Ajay.
You didn't. Are you serious?
I was like, I think the same as Ajay. I say the same as Ajay. Everything in Ajay's brain is almost in my brain.
I basically teach her everything, so she just verbatim copies everything that I say. So when I hear her on the phone to clients, half the time I think, hang on a second, does she just take my recording and just repeat it? Because it is quite interesting listening to you do that.
Yeah, it winds me up.
What, it winds you up that you repeat what I say?
No, it winds me up when people say, what would Ajay do? He'd do what I do, bitch. So I shot that one down.
Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. But yeah, I mean, I think the angel finance thing, angel investor thing, I have multiple conversations with clients where they're just like, yeah, well, it's been in my bank account for 3 months. I'm like, so? What's that got to do with anything?
I had a lender ask for 5 years the other day.
I was like, all I asked was, where's the deposit money's coming from? And you're like, it's been in my account for 3 months. I was like, you immediately are guilty of something.
Yeah.
So tell me what the hell the deal is.
So sus.
Oh, well, yeah. So it's angel investor, but I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's it? Well, that's it.
It's like, just tell me the truth. It's probably totally fine.
Send me the loan agreement and we're done. Well, is that it? Yes, that's it. I find very often that when a client is hesitant and like they're trying to pull something over your eyes, 99% of the time, what they're doing is completely fine.
Yeah.
But just because they've been advised stupidly, idiotically by another advisor or Dave down the pub or whatever, Tom, Gary.
I like Dave. Dave's better.
Yeah.
Sorry to all Daves.
Are you though? No. Okay. But yeah, I think just because someone has told them something, all of a sudden they think that what they're doing is wrong and that they have to hide it from us. I think the number one most important thing, if you're working with a mortgage advisor, if you're not, you're an idiot. But if you're working with a mortgage advisor that understands this side of the business as well as every other side of the business, having a 100% transparent conversation is imperative.
Yeah.
Without that conversation, I don't know what you're trying to achieve. If I don't know what you're trying to achieve, we're not going to get the right deal.
Yeah.
I think from that aspect, you just got to tell the truth. And if you're telling the truth to your advisor and your advisor still doesn't know what to do, then just find a different advisor.
Yeah. But half the time we can place it. We just need to know what the deal is so that we can place it to the right lender.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's never a case that I can't place. Mm-hmm. You just have to deal with the consequences of where I'm placing it.
Yeah.
I.e. the time that's going to take, potentially the rate that it's going to be, the ball ache that it's going to be, because of all these lenders that I just don't understand them.
Yeah.
90% of
But it's
them.
also about doing investment funds correctly as well. Instead of, I've seen some messes of investment funds.
Because of the movement of funds.
Because of the movement of funds and just...
So lenders generally, and this is bridging lenders as well as mortgage lenders, they're so on top of anti-money laundering right now. Mm-hmm. Their AML checks are through the roof. I've never seen anything like it.
No.
Because of that, how about you make life easier for everyone and just be very, very clean with where your funds are from and understand it, right? And if you're going to take funds, don't take them until you've spoken to me or you or the right advisor, and explain to them what you want to do and then do it.
Yeah.
Like I've got clients who are brilliant. They're like, right, I've got 400 grand that's coming in. What do I do with it? How do I do it? Yeah. Right, loan agreement. Is it from their company? Is it from their personal name? It's from their company. Great. Loan agreement directly with your company. XYZ, ABC, AML checks, statements, passport, done. Yeah. Here you go. simple. And they're like, okay, great, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then you get some idiots who go like, I'll put 10 grand in my personal account and 5 grand in
and
my
I moved it to my savings, and some came from premium bonds, and 10 grand came from my nan, and then I moved that one from 2 different personal accounts in. I was just like, oh my gosh, do you know how much trailer fund is going to be a nightmare for that?
Yeah, and it's just not worth it. It's like, again, you're not ordering a pizza.
No.
You're trying to get a mortgage or a bridge.
For hundreds of thousands of pounds.
I know. It's like literally, you think that they're ordering a takeaway the way they're behaving.
Yeah.
And it just really, really frustrates me and winds me up. But it's like, listen, everything can be possible if you are honest.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. Just be bloody honest.
And I think one of the things that I see a lot that people don't understand fully is 100% bridging.
Ah, okay.
So I'm seeing recently where, can I just get 100% on this? It's like, well, no, you can't just get 100%. There's like a certain criteria for it. Like it has to be below market value enough for there to be enough margin there for them to be able to lend 100%. Like, oh, I just thought I could get 100%. Like, no, it doesn't quite work like that. Unless you've got, a property in the background that you can use as collateral. But I'm just talking about just purely below market value. And they're like, oh yeah, it is below market value. It's market value is 200. I'm buying it for 190. I'm like, not quite. I'm talking like maybe 90 grand under. We might be seeing something there.
But again, it comes down to the mathematics, right? Where most clients will fall down is they don't understand the mathematics to it. What really gets me is when they're like, okay, what loan to value am I going to get?
Yeah.
Do you need refurb funds? Yeah. How much do you need? 35 grand. Right. Okay. So then let me go and get terms. Yeah, but what's the loan to value? Do I need 25% deposit? It's like, no.
I've never seen a bridge with 25% deposit ever.
It's like bridging doesn't work that way. And it's trying to make them understand, there's either lending on GDV. And if we're lending on GDV, you've got to work backwards.
Yeah.
How much is the refurb? That funds are then taken out from the purchase price. Interest that's retained. Is it serviced interest? Like, there's so many different aspects to it that...
And also the margin. If there's only a small margin, then you're going to get less day one funds. If there's a massive margin in the deal, then you might be getting more day one funds. So it makes a difference.
Everyone wants 100%, Jordan, don't you get it?
Yeah. I know it. Everyone's like, can I just get 100%? Yeah, sure, no problem.
It comes to how much below market value are you buying it? Are you buying it with the need for a refurb? How much is that refurb? What do you expect that property to be worth on the back end? All of these little things come into the fact. And if they're not taken into account, then no, you're not going to get 100% finance. But the collateral one is a good one, using the collateral. Obviously, you started off with the collateral one. Great way of working. And hopefully that you get your offer accepted. And
I've been trying to get my offer accepted for like 2 weeks.
Another creative way of buying property, vendor finance. Essentially using the vendor's equity in the property as a deposit. So buying for 200,000 and let's say that the loan you're getting is 120,000. You're basically borrowing 80,000 off the vendor, 120,000 is coming from your bridging lender, going straight to the solicitors who then give it to the vendor. So they've got 120,000 out of their 80. You refurb that property's worth more, refinance it out, pay back the vendor, job done. Hopefully I'm doing one like that right now. I was supposed to have that phone call just before this, but unfortunately he didn't answer the phone.
He never answers the phone.
No, answer the phone. But no, so he's going to say the same thing about me, because every time he calls me, I don't answer, and every time I call him. But yeah, hopefully that will be a vendor finance deal, and it'd be great, because I basically got to put zero down because I'm using the vendor's equity as deposit.
Yeah, if you can find a vendor who's willing, a bit open-minded, and also doesn't need the cash straight away, then it can be a really great way of securing a property without really any funds.
Yeah.
But it's not, I don't see it as much. I see it sporadically throughout the year. I don't know if that many people know it exists.
What, vendor finance?
Yeah, or some people think it's not possible.
It's only working for bridging.
Yeah.
It's not possible for mortgages.
No.
But then a lot of what we talk about isn't possible with mortgages. It's about that investor. It's about getting the deal done in the first instance and then remortgaging off, but then going to the right lender on the back end based on what you've done in the front end, because some of them won't accept certain things like that. So many lenders have got so many different things correct, right? So this lender has that correct, this lender has that correct, this lender has that correct, but there is no lender that has everything correct. And it's just, why is that the case? Like, why can't there be a lender who has everything correct? Like, I would be that lender
because
where
they
I
don't
would get it all
think
correct.
They don't think like a true investor.
No, there's no lender that thinks like an investor, even an inkling of an investor.
They like to think they do.
They haven't got a clue.
They literally have no idea.
It's just pointless. Just sack them off and I'll just create a brand new...
Just one lender for the whole country.
One monopoly for the whole country. Like, do you know what? I'm going to buy you all out. Here's the money. Let's go.
I think we'd be inundated with... we'd need a lot of underwriters.
I'll get all the underwriters from all the other lenders. Right, okay. Here we go. I'll actually get 10% more to learn from the other lenders who take 20 days to come back to you. But, yeah, I mean... I can't even count. I mean, rent to rent, another one.
There's a lot of rent to rent going up at the moment.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you get the right property, it can be brilliant source of income, and you don't own the property, so you don't have that stress of owning it, and also then you could just give it back after 5 years or whatever. I see a lot of them, and people have businesses, just pure businesses, just based on rent to rent.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they don't own. They've got like 20, 30, 40 rent to rents. It's a good business model if you can get it right. Yeah,
because I think the initial outlay being so low is the best part, because technically you just got to take the property on and furnish it. And I think that furnishing side of things is your only outlay. And if you need to do slight refurbishments, then you're going to do slight refurbishments. Lease options, another one. Lease options are great. Essentially, lease option is taking an option on a property rather than actually acquiring that property, but the option to potentially acquire that property, but you're not obliged to take on that property.
Yeah.
So that's another really good way of moving forward. I know a few people who have basically got 4 or 5 lease options where they'll agree a pound or £10 or however it is, how much it is, to say, right, within the next 5 years I will purchase this property for X amount, and I will take on all your burdens from this property.
Well, that's what one of my clients is doing at the moment, purchasing a big block of 36, and the vendor has been messing him about so much he's put him on a 6-month lease option with the option to buy within the 6 months. So he's just signing the lease and they're buying it straight away, just so that he can't mess him about anymore.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's clever. So has he made him sign the lease option already?
He's trying to do it. He messaged me today, said I got 500 pages of these admin to go through. I was like, you're never going to get through those 500 pages. You can't even send me a DDM. You can't even send me a bank statement within the 7 working days. How are you going to get through 500 pages? I was like, get it done, because I've got the terms. I'll get it in.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. That's actually good. Because some vendors are a baller.
Yeah, but that deal has been going on for
a year
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it died. It was there, it died, and then it maybe came back, and then it died forever, and now it's back on a lease option. So,
you finally got there.
Deal's never dead.
You finally got there. Get your terms in today as well.
Eventually. I finally got the terms.
The correct terms.
The correct terms.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Oh, God. What a mission that was. Absolutely. But they were the only lender that would do it. That I want what I wanted.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the thing. There's always going to be a lender for something.
Yeah, always.
If you tell us the bloody truth of what you're actually trying to achieve.
Yeah. And I mean, this client we're talking about now is probably one of the most creative clients I've got.
Yeah.
And he just tells me how it is, and then I just be creative and find an answer for him.
Yeah.
Nothing is out of it. I mean, he brings me just the most weird and wonderful stuff. And yeah, I just have to roll with it.
Yeah.
Just have to find a lender. He's like, just go and find a lender.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you can find a lender. I was like, yeah. I'll find a lender. I'm not on the phone like, oh my God. calling 20 lenders.
I think, when it comes to the creativity of different options for what you can do in order to build a portfolio, really the sky's the limit. There's so much that is possible.
Well, you're not going to build a portfolio or be an investor if you're just using mortgages. So you're going to have to do it either in cash or with bridging finance. So people need to understand how it works, what's possible, and not be scared of it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people I still call me and they're scared of bridging, or they're, I've heard it's so expensive. And I'm like, look, if it's not working with a bridge, it's not a deal.
Yeah, it's not a deal.
Because bridging is made for this. And like mortgages, you need to kind of get out of your head, because unless you're buying a turnkey property and you want to leave your money in there, or you've refurbed it and it's all sexy, that's when you're going to use a mortgage, and it's the only time you're ever going to use a mortgage. You need to get your head around bridging.
That actually it bugs me at times when people are just like, oh my god, it's so expensive. This one, I was just like, no, your deal's shit.
Yeah, your deal is
shit, and just accept that. Don't tell me it's expensive. Accept the fact that your deal is shit.
Yeah.
So you need to throw it in the bin and go and be more intelligent and go and find a better deal. Because if it doesn't work with bridging, it's not a deal. It's not a deal. I don't care what you say. If you're not making that margin, I would say minimum 20% margin. Minimum 20% margin with a bridge, with that interest, is not a deal. And that you're basically just a shit investor.
Basically, yeah.
Like, it's harsh. It's the harsh truth. But you're just a shit investor.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather your advisor say to you, this is a shit deal? Like, I can do it, but
no, because they're
shit.
arrogant. Because their arrogance gets the better of them, Jordan. And I think that is where we have such a problem with property investors. There are some who are brilliant, where they will listen, they will understand, they'll go through the numbers. I've got one guy who is, in my opinion, probably one of the best investors that exists.
I know who
and I love working with him because his attention to detail, the figures, the numbers, the margins, the pound per square footage. I mean, this guy is phenomenal, and I love working with him. Because he takes that time and that care, the due diligence, and he goes into it.
He does.
And even if it's like 2% out, 3% out, it's like, oh no, I don't know about that.
And he'll say to you on the phone or to me on the phone when you're not there, he'll be like, well, what do you think? And I'll say, well, I think this.
Yeah,
and he's
exactly.
like, okay, I trust you, I'll go with that.
And that's the thing.
There's never any pushback.
I've done over 100 deals as an investor, right? I've done over 1,000 as an advisor, right? So I've seen every single deal you could think of. I've been there, done it, either myself as an investor or as an advisor. So I understand, 1, what a lender is looking for, 2, what the deal looks like, 3, how is that deal going to stack, 4, whether it's worth it or not. Like, use my knowledge. Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for my health.
What would you say though? Because I always think this, and I've thought this recently. What would you say to an investor who's looking to work with an advisor like us that clearly know what we're talking about? Because I guess to investors, all brokers seem the same, right? And they don't know when they meet a broker if they're just catfishing them. Like, is this just clickbait? Like, are they telling me they do bridge? Yeah, I've done bridging, and yeah, I've done development. I can do that. And then as the investor, you're like, okay, great. And then they get you a deal that's at like 1.2%, and you think that's great because they don't know any better. So what would you say to someone who's looking for an advisor to sort of kind of
vet
your advisor?
Oh, I've been asked the question so many times. I think I did a video on it once as well before. In my opinion, if you're working in this industry on this side of the fence, i.e. the property investment fence and the building a portfolio and all the rest of it, if your advisor hasn't built a portfolio for themselves, I'd say don't work with them. And I know that's really, really harsh to say that. It is really harsh to say that. But if they've not been down there on the trenches, right, working with the contractors, working with the lender, getting those drawdowns from the lender, if they've not physically done that themselves, how can they advise people on it? How do you advise people on something you don't know? Like that's like I would never, ever, ever go to a dentist for advice about fucking cardiothoracics, right?
But I guess you wouldn't go to a dentist who hasn't got nice teeth either, right?
Right. But okay, I mean, fair enough. I think my analogy was a lot more.
I think mine was better.
Whatever. So, like, I'm not going to go to a dentist to talk about cardiothoracics. That dentist is really intelligent because he's a dentist, right? He's an intelligent guy. But he's not going to be able to give me the ins and outs of cardiothoracics. A cardiothoracic surgeon is going to be able to do that, right? I'm going to go to a cardiothoracic surgeon to ask about cardiothoracics, right? So if you're going to a mortgage advisor to ask about property investment, that mortgage advisor should be a bloody property investor. As debatable as that can be, as you know, causing a fight.
I agree
here.
with you.
Because the thing is that I know a lot of good advisors, but they're not investors, and in my opinion, that's their downfall. And they are very good advisors, and I love them to bits, and they're really, really nice people. But they're not portfolio holders, right? They've not done it themselves.
Yeah.
How can they possibly advise? How? So that's where I would start with. Do you have your own portfolio? Have you done these types of deals? You know, and you can catch them out pretty damn quickly because you can tell whether someone's being genuine or not.
Yeah.
And I think it's one, or just phone me and fucking ask me, and I'll tell you straight. Give me the
I always know if they're coming from another advisor. The first thing I say is send me your portfolio.
Yeah, and you can tell.
And I can tell straight away because I can see what lenders they've taken the properties
not only the
to.
lenders, but the terms, the rates,
all of it,
the fixed rate period, whether it's on a tracker, which lender it's with, like all of those things scream shit advisor or good advisor.
Yeah.
Just looking at their portfolio.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that some clients will still be idiotic about it. And just be like, yeah, whatever, not fussed. Okay, yeah, crack on. Fuck off. I've got no time for you. I think I've mentioned this before, but I can't want it more than them.
Yeah.
I can't want them to have the best portfolio.
It's their business, it's their portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, creative finance. There's a lot of it.
So you can go down a rabbit hole with it.
Yeah, I think there's so many different ways of going about things. It can get really, really intricate. But I like it.
It also depends how much the investor wants it as well, because you get these people online who, buy-to-lets are dead and using other people's money is not plausible, or all of this, and I'm just like, yeah, but if you really want to build a portfolio and you're serious about it and you're going to be a professional investor, having that knowledge of how to build it, it can be the difference between you being a multimillionaire and not.
Yeah. Because
I've seen it.
Yeah. You get some advisors saying, "Oh, don't buy property."
Yeah, I've seen that.
I saw on TikTok the other night, and he's well known in the industry. He knocks about quite a bit. Everyone sees him around, and he posts online and all the rest of it. He's doing a TikTok live the other day, and he was just like, "Yeah, I would hold off from buying property because, prices are going to come down, rates are going to come down." I was just like, that sentence alone is a complete contradiction, right? Because if prices are coming down, what happens? Demand goes up. So what happens when demand goes up? Supply goes down. And when supply goes down, what happens to property prices?
I keep getting asked that all the time. They're like, "Oh, should I wait for the base rate to come down? Like, should I just hold off to see if rates come down?"
Just wait till you're dead and then crack on.
Well, that's what I said.
It's just stupidity.
I said, there's never a wrong time to buy. You just need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's simple economics.
It's easy,
the simple economics of demand and supply. Like, what does that do to the prices of property? Property crash. People have been screaming about the property crash in 2000.
Property crash is fantastic for buying property.
2021? Property's crashed. Oh, property crash is coming. Don't buy anything. Wait till the property crash. I was like, bitch, when the properties crash, you're so shit at buying, you're not going to be able to buy then, let alone buy now. Like, it's just...
I wish I was buying in 2008 rather than being 16 and not being able to get a mortgage because I'm too young.
Just told everyone your age now.
That's okay. I don't have a complex about my age.
See, most women shouldn't. Be proud. Own it.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Still get ID'd anyway, so until I stop getting
Because
ID'd.
you're about 2'1".
I'm not 2'1", I'm 4'10".
Yeah, 4'9".
I'm 4'10".
Whatever.
I am.
All right. With your trainers on.
No, then I'll be 4'10 and a half.
So full of it.
Don't rob me of an inch, okay?
2'1".
I'm 4'10".
Okay, fine. 4'10". But I guess that's it. Well, it's not it, but
It's
I think
not it,
that's
but-
it for this episode because,
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on for hours and hours and hours just talking about this kind of stuff. So, but
Yeah. Basically, there's all different ways to buy property.
Yeah.
You just need to talk it through with your advisor. An
be
advisor
honest.
who knows what they're doing, ideally.
yeah, absolutely.
Us.
Thank you, everyone, once again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you ever have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Also, if you have any topics that you'd like discussed, we're very, very open to talking about what you want to discuss. I think maybe one day we can even do like a live thing.
Yeah, we could
I
do
don't know
that.
how to do that, but you can figure
I'll
that
teach you how to do a live.
out. Okay, fine. Where people can ask.
He's showing
live
his age now.
questions. Wait, what? 31. But yeah, thanks for joining. Please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell, whatever that thing is that gives you notifications that we've done something in life. But thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Industry Disruptors.